Hello everyone and welcome back to the BCS finals for Weiss Schwartz. We just finished game 3. It was a very close game between ZMIC on Ichika and Berry on Slime.
Hmm.
And I think we're almost ready to head into game 4 already.
Yep, and because we're having a 6-round Swiss tournament, this will just be past the halfway mark of Swiss. So let's see what kind of hot decks we'll see in the second half. Okay.
So on our left we have Vivi playing Bang Dream. And on our right we have Adolfo playing That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. I think it's
Yep.
pretty much the same slime build as before with a few small changes.
Yeah, so the level 0 lineup looks a little bit different from the previous deck, which was piloted by Vivi. Adolfo is playing a different choice of beta from the Veldora. It's playing the Flash Hacker, which can stock kick an opponent that it reverses, as well as a few other changes, but I guess we'll pick them up as we go.
Yes, and on our left we have Vivi piloting an 8-door Bang Dream list
Yep.
using the Christmas Kasumi combo,
Uh-huh.
as well as a new Kasumi finisher.
Yep, so that would be Star Kasumi Toyama. It's from the most recent anniversary set. When it comes into play, you can draw 2, discard 2, and stock 1, and at the end of its attack, if you have combo, you can pay 2 to deal 2 damage, and it gets the ability where you can't take damage from auto abilities
Ooh, it's
during
an
its
anti-burn.
battles. Yeah.
Oh, that's very strong.
Yeah,
Does
it
this
is.
do much against slime?
It's not hugely effective, but that's more just to do with the fact that Slime isn't really a finisher-oriented deck.
Yeah.
So I think it'll just be like solid. And if you hit level 3 first, which against Slime is somewhat likely, I'd say that yeah, it's probably gonna do some work.
So it seems like a little bit of a slow start this game.
Yeah, both players
with-
attack with one attacker, and neither of them really seem to be the type of cards you want to start off with. On Adolfo's side, we got the level 0 Rimuru, which is both you can discard a climax on play to salvage a character. It also reveals a card of your deck to add a character and then discard one.
Yeah, slime has a lot of those utility cards
Yeah.
that they like playing in their level 0 lineup.
And then
And on the left, that's a Riki Yukina, right?
yes, but it does have the additional ability where if you cancel damage during this Yukina's combat, you can return it to your hand. So with a bit of luck, he might be able to just return that to hand and then use the on-play ability next turn. So maybe it's not so bad as an attacker on turn 1.
How important do you think level controlling is in this matchup? Like, do you think it's strong to be able to level lock slime on level 1, on level 0?
I think Slime's power spike is pretty clearly at level 2, but because this is the standby variant, I think it's somewhat important to control the speed. But I think it's fine to hit Slime to level 1 first. Let them play their level 1 combo, and then
And you
Vivi can
reverse
play,
theirs.
then reverse those, and then start trading from there. Mangream, unlike Ichika from the last round, does have a stock swap, which can actually be played earlier than level 3 as well. So Adolfo does have to be careful with building up stock as well. So I think that's one. Inversely though, I think Adolfo needs to be careful about whether or not he wants to put Vivi on level 3 later down the line, because the combo is not an early play, but it does shut off burns. So if he takes too much damage from the Kasumi as soon as Vivi hits level 3, Adolfo might have trouble coming back after that. So he does need to assess that quite a bit first.
It does seem like Vivi didn't manage to hit level 1 this turn, so
Yeah.
unless he has another one of those Yukinas, he won't be able to do the combo this time.
Yeah, and unfortunately, because he only attacked once, he only has 1 stock, so you won't be able to search a Yukina with the Kokoro that he just played, and then use the ability either. But it does
So-
mean he has attackers.
There are very small characters on board,
Yeah.
so it should be easy enough to rid all 3 of them.
Yeah, as long as he has 3 level 0s, I don't think he's concerned about power, but a quick look at his hand. I think I saw 2 climaxes, 2 of the level 1 Kasumi. He just searched the 3rd one, and he had a stock swap as well. I don't know if he can field 3 level 0s this turn.
I think he did have 3 level 0s, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, might need a bit more time to check out his hand.
We also see a stock swap event in his graveyard already.
Yeah.
So
I think there's one. Alright, so he played the level 0 Kanon, whose ability is that she can send herself to stock as a cost at level 2. I think it's level 1 actually. To play out a card, but I don't think that card's in Vivi's deck, so it's just there to generate stock. Yeah, it's actually played as a 4 of in this deck, so he is really high on that stock generation.
oh wow, four is a lot.
It's quite a lot, yeah.
So if he really wanted, he could have searched for a Yukina, right? But it seems like he's just opting not to.
Yeah, it seems like it. This deck does play 4 Yukina, so I do think there was a copy in there.
It does seem like Adolfo will be hitting level 1, so now
Yeah.
we'll have to be afraid of one of those standby Muron, or Muron's gonna standby it out.
Yeah. But I think in terms of the game pace, this is fine. Vivi does get to use his level 1 combo next turn based on what we can see in his hand to fight Adolfo's level 1 combos, and then he can worry about the Murons eventually.
I
But
wonder if
for now,
Bangry has good outs against early played Murons, or Murons in general even.
I don't think there's anything incredible in the deck that can fight against Murons, but I think it's still better than having to hit level 1 first and then combo and then like the customies get run over by the level 1 remove first before even getting to the Muron, so I think the early damage here is not bad.
So we
Hits
see
2 on the Brainstorm.
hitting 2 standby climaxes.
Yep.
I'm actually not too sure if Adolfo already fixed a standby climax in his hand. So maybe Vivi is in the safe here.
Yeah. I think we just saw 2 standbys in his deck there.
Yeah.
I think it was 2. There was definitely at least 1.
Although we do see a climax swap over here, so maybe we see a climax, a gate climax being swapped for a standby over here. And still setting up one of those 2-1 Murons.
Yeah.
Does leave him with only 1 combo,
Yeah.
which isn't the worst.
It's not too bad, yeah. I think if you standby out a Muron at level 1 and you don't get any more standbys and you don't go to level 2 on the next turn, I'd be a bit hesitant to to use Muron's combo with only 1 single lane at that point. So it's possible that despite Adolfo seemingly be able to set up solidly here, he might not be able to capitalize as hard as his predecessor was able to on that seat. Oh, okay. So going for Shuna instead. So yeah, looks like he's probably just gonna go for the Muron plays at level 2.
What's the consideration here to stand by a Muron over or a Shuna over a Muron?
I'm not sure. There is a Muron in his waiting room that we can see right now. So
Do you think he's expecting a standby to stand by Muron on front row, or
maybe.
he's already out 2 standby, so maybe that's not it. Maybe he's, since he doesn't have a gate climax in his hand yet, maybe he doesn't feel too comfortable.
Yeah, and I guess pumping his whole board by 2k this way isn't.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's not too bad, especially the middle going up to 7-5, and he. Oh, okay, that's trigger a stab.
There is the standby.
And so there's a Muron. I suppose he did get to check 5 cards for standbys with the twin drive effect of the level 1 Rimuru and the top check 2 effect of the level 0 Shizu there. So
Oh, right.
yeah, it wasn't unexpected, but I suppose it may have felt a bit disappointing if he didn't find a standby in the top 5 cards there. So
Does Kasumi CXC even get over the Rimuru at this point? It's 7-5 on defense now?
Yeah, it's base 4-5 and it gets 1000 power every time you play a character up to twice. So with the additional bonus of the climax, it goes to 7-5 match. And then on top of that, he's also playing 2 copies of this level 1 Torkoal, who is a global 500 power. So if he can play that or the level 1 Torkoal, which changes into it, he will be able to go over the middle. And he does play that global 500.
It does seem like he has it in hand.
Yeah. Oh, and even as the Brainstorm, which can pump 500 every turn. So, yeah, scaling over the middle, or at least forcing a counter out of it, seems pretty straightforward. And he's using a Brainstorm to go through his deck. Hits 1, not bad.
like he's already 4 out. With 2 climaxes in his hand, so it doesn't feel very safe for him.
Okay, so hit one and use it one more to go through his deck. This one
His deck a
misses.
little bit more. And, well, the Kasumi combos do help with milling a little bit. It only helps on the next turn cycle, so it's a little bit too slow in that
Your first, whether or not you go through your first deck is somewhat just dependent on whether you drew the event off the top or not.
And he actually didn't play an event this turn, so
Yeah.
his Kasumi won't reach.
This one, you only need to play characters, so this one will go over in terms of power. It's just that, his deck size is probably going to be on like an awkward middle spot there. Yeah.
And there's one of his last climaxes in his deck.
Yep.
So it might be a little bit dangerous for Vivi on this side.
Salvages another event. Triggers the level 3 combo.
On an
3.
for 3. On next turn, he will be able to fix his hand quite a lot. Maybe get back his Kasumi combos again if he wants to do another Kasumi combo.
I think based on the way that this deck is generally built, though, the idea is you just keep doing Kasumi combo over and over, and try not to pass on a bad deck state. Which on one hand means that you have a lot of good deck control. On the other hand, it means that you're refreshing a lot, so you hit yourself with uncancelable quote-unquote damage quite a bit. It's not my kind of deck, but I know some people do like to play that way, so if Vivi could manage that, I think it is a decent way of keeping up with Muron. And Adolfo has now hit level 2. He's on 2-1 with 3 colors available, so he has set up for his the experience condition of the level 3 Benny Maru down the line. And he has a standby in his hand as well, but not a gate, I believe?
It does seem like a standby, but not a gate.
Yeah.
Maybe there's a way to fix it into a climax swap.
Yeah, if he can grab the climax swap, he should be able. Oh, actually, does this? Oh, sorry. Yeah, he plays one copy of the level 0. This Shizu as a climax swap, which he played last turn, so you'll have to access that some way.
Yeah.
From the waiting room.
He does play the Soe level 0 as well to be able to salvage it, I think. So
yes.
Maybe there's.
The alternative is, I guess he could go through his deck and possibly search Brainstorm into his next one, but that requires him to get a copy of the gate into his waiting room somehow. So.
But he's discarding his climax to salvage another character, so he's planning to not play a climax this turn, it seems.
Yeah. All right. And then
I think just hard playing one of the Murons already means that Vivi won't be able to kill both of them at least.
Yeah, I think just playing the Muron here to keep up a board is pretty good.
Yeah, and getting open lanes is always great.
Yeah.
So we'll see if he goes for this line or figures out another line somehow. It does seem like a pretty dominant board state at the moment.
Okay. Also, another side note, I guess, is that Vivi has one of his 4 level 1 combos in his level zone. And with one in the waiting room, it means that doing triple combo next turn is going to be dependent on whether or not he can mill the last copy of the level 1 combo that's going to go back into his deck. So repeating it every turn is probably going to become less and less likely every turn.
Right.
So he's triggered a gate there, but it is the last card of his deck, and he is not on 6 o'clock, so that's just going to fizzle.
Yeah. And his deck size seems pretty small this time around. Ooh, that's a climax that you did not want to see at that point.
It's 2 climaxes out. And then
Another attack.
And then triggered another one.
Triggering another standby that you also didn't really want to trigger.
Yeah.
It's a little bit unfortunate right after the refresh, but I think the deck size is small enough that he should be able to recuperate from there.
Yeah. I think if Vivi doesn't hit too hard, like playing a climax or something, it's fine. But we know he has a climax any time, don't we?
He actually did not refresh before the end of that turn, so all of the customies that he was planning to salvage, they're all gone. They're in his deck now.
Oh,
And
that
he's
is
also
true.
refreshing with all of his clock as well.
Right. Okay. Maybe the fact that Adolfo just lost 2 climaxes off the top for no value whatsoever is
Compensated by that?
yeah, it seems fairly recoverable.
Mhm.
Bit of a shame that Adolfo doesn't play an early play heal, I guess, because if he did play an early play heal, he'd be able to possibly heal off that climax after a triple cancel, but probably not that likely anyway.
Yeah. So on Vivi's side, probably we'll need to somehow brainstorm or something to get more
But his
card
deck
right.
state's not that bad, so I don't know if he... Oh, he clocks away his star custody? Okay, I thought he would keep that for his level 3 turn, because you definitely want to do triple of that one.
You usually want to do triple, right?
Yeah. Oh, so the additional text on that that canon that can send itself to stock is that when it comes into play, you reveal the top card of your deck, and if it's a music character, you can pay 1 to search the card that it quote-unquote cheats out, which I think from memory was actually just a 1/1 vanilla, but in the case of this deck, it just reveals the top card of your deck, and sometimes you can pay 1 to do absolutely nothing and shuffle your deck.
Yeah, sometimes
Which,
you just want to pay 1 for nothing.
Yeah.
That's okay.
I mean, sometimes you really need to do that to like dig out that 1 climax, but I guess in this case, he just check the top to see what he wants to do next.
How much do you actually need to set up for this for triple finisher with this deck?
So because each one refunds 1 stock when it comes into play, you only really need 4 stock to play out 3. But because you need to pay 2 at the end of the attack,
So for triple, you would need 9 stock or something?
you need, I think, 9 stock. It's I need to do the math off the top of my head, right? You can go to 1. So actually, I think you only need 7, maybe 6. No, I think you actually only need 6 stock to do triple. Because each one is 1. Each one effectively costs 1, and then each combo effectively costs 1 because it pays half of its cost back. So. Yeah. I don't think Vivi's stuck so much on stock, but more just he does wants to eventually go into triple. Okay, maybe he is a bit stuffed on stock now, but he does need he does need to go into triple custody to make sure that there are no lanes in which Adolfo could burn on during the attacks. But I think even losing 1 copy of that just drastically reduces the likelihood of it happening. So interesting decision to clock that away as opposed to all the other cards in his hand.
Yeah, I think he might just be pivoting off of the finisher win condition and just trying to play like a healing
Possibly.
game into slime.
Yeah, but with only 2 early play heals, or rather actually just 2 heals straight up, I feel like that plan is not easy to keep up very long.
Yeah, he is slightly ahead on life probably.
Yeah.
He's currently at 2-2 versus 2-2, but he's
Yeah.
attacking.
Mm-hmm.
Although there is a cancel over there.
Cancelled, yeah.
Another swing for 2 will be taken. If he hits level 3 right here, do you think he would mind?
I think, yeah, he would, because he hasn't been able to Muron combo yet, and hitting level 3 means that you are quite a bit closer to losing the game, and you get less time to set up your win conditions. So, yeah, that's it's unfortunate, although not quite unexpected that he's on 2-6, because he did lose a bit. I think just appreciating the fact that he hasn't hit level 3 yet, so he can clock once and not have to worry about healing down is alright.
It's kind of funny that he received a Soe on top of his clock, so he can actually alarm into it.
Yeah, I can shift into it,
Shift.
but don't. Oh, okay. So he just plays a card. He doesn't have any intention of using his combo this turn. It seems like it's 1 on the brainstorm.
There's 1, 2
I
climaxes
think
left
there's
in
2
him.
climax in there, which means he definitely needs to go through the rest of it unless he's happy to take the risk, which I don't think he would be, right?
It's
So
very scary. If you trigger 2 climaxes here, you're
Yeah.
basically dead. Even though Vivi
Even-
doesn't have that much stock, so
yeah, but even 1 is like, even if you just trigger 1, that deck is like what, 10 cards maybe?
yeah,
Maybe a bit, somewhere between 10 and 15, I would say. So
you'll probably just die to vanilla.
yeah,
swings over there.
if Vivi just plays what's that, like double combo, I think yeah, the damage output is just enough.
He
So
does have.
goes for the level 3 Millen, which can clock kick an opponent, it reverses, and also burn 1 if it reveals a character on the top when it's played. So I think Adolfo is going to try and end the game on the following turn, which seems like a pretty sound call, honestly.
Hmm.
I wouldn't expect to survive that much longer from 2-6 with 2 cards in deck and then being this kind of short on resources, but
Yeah, he does manage to mill down a little bit more, but he keeps his 2 climaxes in deck over there.
yeah, okay.
Not exactly where you want to be over. Is that the Milim that mills as well, or is
That would
another
be
one?
the Twin Drive Milim, so you can pay 1 to Twin Drive when it attacks, and
Okay.
it gets 3k on your turn.
So Twin Drive also works very well over here.
Yeah, it
Just
can
in
pay a
case.
climax, but if you only trigger 1 climax, it's probably not worth paying it out, because if you trigger the other climax as a result of that, then you're just more screwed than you were originally, so I think it's probably not going to do a whole lot. And
A pretty small deck size, I think.
yeah, and while there are defensive counters in Adolfo's hand, it's having a meal Rammers. You can pay 1 and discard 2 as an additional cost on top of the counter effect. But the quote-unquote defensive ability is that you add 6 souls to an opponent's character. So this card's not very good when your deck state is is like this. So it's not actually defending you. Still hasn't triggered a climax. So
Yeah, and Vivi did hit level 3 over here.
yeah.
So
But that being said, that's even though he's still 2 in the deck, that's 2 in 10 or something.
yeah,
He's still very much in range of dying on a bad day.
I do think he should be slightly safe because it's only 4 stock you're facing. Cosmic combo. You can
Is
only
that
do a
4
single
or
combo.
I
I
think it
think.
might be 5. Oh no, that.
I guess there.
Oh
is
no, that's
cannons.
the border. Sorry, that's 4. Yeah. And then,
There's a couple of cannons that could still change the equation a
yeah,
little bit.
that's
but
true.
I don't think it's specifically finishing range with only 2 climaxes in his with 2 climaxes left in his deck still.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what Vivi will end up doing here. I'd be
Oh,
kinda
brainstorm
tempted
there.
to heal.
Okay.
That's 1 of the 4 stock already spent. So he only has 3 stock left to play
Yeah.
this turn out.
I was about to say, if he had a cannon in his hand and sent it to stock, then he'd have enough to do double combo, which is not too bad given this situation. But with 1 stock used, I think he can look at resolving a single combo at this stage, which is quite a bit further away from
Yeah, this is a
winning on
rough
the spot.
It might be an angle where you try to heal down a little bit and
Yeah.
heal down to your next deck, but it doesn't feel too safe, even at 3-1. It's not like Slime has like hugely impressive finishers, but every deck can do a lot of damage with 8 stock.
Yeah. And I think, yeah, this is just the opportune moment to try and capitalize on Adolfo's not so compressed deck, but there just really aren't that many options with 3 stock and 0 copies of. No, there is 1 copy of his finisher in his hand. It looks like now, but yeah, if he hadn't used the 1 in his hand last turn, he may have been able to go to a double combo this turn. So I think, yeah, I think he's probably regretting that a little bit. That's a salvage at level 2 all.
Yeah, it seems like it. Slightly unfortunate about this card is that it's a brainstorm actually. So I think he has exactly 6 cards in deck, so if he uses the second one,
Yeah, the second one can only grab from the last 3 cards innocent, but instead he's using the event swap ability, which is kind of like a climax swap, but it works for events, and he's getting the Buns for Luck, commonly known as Bread or Stocks Up events, against Adolfo's deck. I'm not sure how aware he is of the deck state though, because
it seems like something like 2 and 8.
yeah,
So
I
he
think
would
if
be
I
able
were
to-
Adolfo and I took the stocks up here, I'd be pretty happy with that.
I think it's okay.
Yeah.
They would refresh with 5 climaxes probably. It's
But
I'm
I
not
think,
too sure.
yeah, it's a little But this is definitely one of those points in the game where Adolfo would be a bit hesitant um, to use the Ramorous counter at any point. So I think using that one hand, one stock, effectively two stock actually, because he had to swap into it, for the stock swap here is probably not going to yield great results. I think it was probably better to just have an additional 2-soul beta in the Kasumi. Because that card, it can swing for 3, can also side for 1, depending on the scenario. But I guess he's gone for the stock swap angle. It also would have paid out a climax. He's going for the stock swap angle instead. So, yeah, there was a climax in there.
And now there's 2 climaxes in there.
No. So it was 2 and 7, which is... it's not...
I wouldn't want to attack it to 2 and 7, I think.
Yeah. It's not terrible.
Yeah. It's not a disaster for Adolfo, but it's also like...
I think it's that I would stock swap it. I would consider stock swapping a 2 and 7 if that didn't affect the rest of my turn so much. But I think in this case it very much affects what Vivi can do. And I think in the toss-up between stock swapping there and playing an additional Kasumi, I would probably just go for the additional Kasumi, even though it can't combo. But we'll see if it pays off, I guess. So we're just adding the additional stock. So if those last 2 cards are also climaxes, then I guess, yeah, it's great, but you know.
Yeah, but you can't count on that.
Yeah, absolutely not. Right, sends it to stock, okay. And then he plays the level 0 Akko, whose ability is that you can rest a Roselio anniversary character to level swap on play, but more importantly, you can climax swap. Yes.
Yep. It does seem like he swapped into the correct climax right now.
Yep.
So, do you think it's likely to finish from here? Or
personally, I wouldn't count on it.
End up being in a good position from here?
It's in a... Yeah, I would say I wouldn't count on it, but I wouldn't exactly be surprised if it happens either. Like, it's just... Who knows where it will take us kind of angle.
2 is already taken.
Yeah.
And 2 more coming
there's
in.
1, 2, 3... So there's 7 damage that we can see. Oh, no. Yeah, okay. So basically the Kasumi swing plus the burn all has to land.
It's a swing for 3 though, right? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then the burn is just 2.
Both of them needs hit. We already saw 1 cancel on Adolfo's side, so that means he has 4 climaxes left, I believe.
Yes. Up to, because he put 2 extra cards in his stock.
Oh, but Adolfo, of course, is considering using the +6 soul counter.
Well, I think he should use it here, because if he loses as a result of that, he would have lost anyway from just the 3 and the 2 anyway. And I don't think he needs too many more resources to deal 4 damage next turn.
It's definitely a little bit spooky.
Yeah, here it is. So +6 stall. Discarding 2. I think he should probably be discarding the... Okay, discard the Milim. So he has a Benimar and a Milim in his hand. So that turned into a 9 damage, I believe?
Yeah, swing for 9. Will we see a swing for 9 stick on
Yeah,
stream?
cancel
Oh,
that.
no. Yeah, okay. Unfortunately, it was on the second card, but you can't know that in defense.
Yeah.
Better safe than sorry, right?
Yeah. Also, on top of the defending ability, it reversed the Kasumi, so she can still burn, but she won't remain on the stage to defend against... against auto damage.
Yeah.
But at the same time, his board is all now cleared up, which means that he doesn't have to worry about getting clock kicked by Milim, which is actually kind of nice.
A good thing he discarded the Milim then, I guess.
Yeah, so he can use a Milim as a burn 1 on play, as long as the top part of his deck's a characters, but it looks like... So, Brainstorm... How many cards are there? It's 2
climaxes in that. It's also, once again, like one of those scary positions to be in, where if you trigger 2, you just kind of die.
Yeah.
But I think it feels like a game state where you just heal down to 3 and try to finish by playing Venom Arrows, for example.
Yeah, I think with that many, his hand size isn't great though. But if he can, yeah, I think healing down, and then milling enough so you don't pass on a bad deck either. But I think his hands, he probably doesn't have enough hand size nor quality to make that maneuver. So I think he's probably just going to push here, which is probably fine, but it could not end the game, in which case it can go pretty badly.
Yeah. I mean, Vivi is at 3 stock right now.
Yeah. And I don't think he has, well, he does have a star in his, star custom in his hand, so if he does survive, there is a high roll chance, I guess. So he heals with the Benny Maru, and then
Do we see another heal incoming?
so all the additional two.
Did already pay 2.
Oh, okay,
There's
so
a
he prepaid for. Yeah, and then burns 1, so that's a pretty good
Now
one.
he has to hit 3s.
Yeah, he has 2 swings of 3.
And he has a
And then
guaranteed trigger on top,
Yeah, so he can make 3 to 3.
which is pretty
Oh.
sweet.
That's no,
He's trying to save the midden for next turn, it seems.
it's an interesting angle. I thought he would just make. Yeah, I thought he would just use the guaranteed trigger to make a 3 with the Muron, and then.
Wait, you can also just burn 3 with this.
Oh yeah, you could also burn 3. It makes 3/4 though, which is. I guess it's alright.
Does this card mill or just reveal?
I think it just reveals.
Okay.
Oh, it lands
that's just
anyway.
it.
Okay.
Yeah. GG's.
Good game.
Was a little bit of slow game for Slime with not finding any Muron combo so far.
Yeah, that was a zero Muron game. And I think compared to the other games, it sort of did show in how many resources he had. He had a lot of stock, but I don't think his hand size really went up that much. But on the other hand, his opponent wasn't having a great game, so it kind of worked out for him.
Yeah, it felt like very back and forth in terms of like bad luck happening on both
Yeah.
sides with the level 1 Kazumi's not
Yeah.
hitting his grave or hitting his waiting room so that they were not salvageable with the event. And like him hitting level 2 as well in addition, and on the other side, what was it? Triggering all the climaxes and getting him as damage.
Yeah. But yeah, I think probably a turning point or like a crucial turn on that game was when Vivi, I believe he clocked away or discarded the single copy of the Star Custom in his hand, and then next turn he only had 1 Star Custom, so his range of options was kind of limited by the fact that he didn't have a guaranteed double.
Yeah. Do you think did he have enough stock to?
He was
You're
one
supposed to-
short of doing double combo with double Kasumi, but I think if he had possibly drawn into
Kanon?
a Kanon or something off like a draw 2 or discard 2 or something,
Yeah.
he might have been able to go into double.
Yeah.
Or at least just having like the additional 2 soul attacker for potential side or choosing orders or not leaving up a direct or something like that.
I think he anticipated to stay on level 2 for another turn after the
Yeah.
early pay heal, and otherwise, like the early pay, otherwise not playing an early pay heal would have
Yeah.
been slightly better to just have a better finisher at that point. But you can't know that in advance.
Yeah, I guess so.
Mhm.
So yeah, a little bit unlucky there, but I think it did kind of like bite him in the hand later that he hit the stock.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was it for round 4, the first of the second half of Swiss today, and we will be seeing you in round 5 shortly.
Yep.
Schwartz.